let's work the 3/1 right purl cross or right purl cable, and we're going to do it without a cable needle. For my technique, I highly recommend nice sharp tips. They will make a big difference. If you're doing this with blunt tips, it's going to be frustrating, so I don't recommend it. If you have fairly blunt tips on your needles, you'll probably just want to use a cable needle. Now, in order to work this process, we use the tip of our right needle to rearrange the stitches on the left needle to create the cable transition without the extra cable needle being involved. So to do that, we're going to take the tip of our right needle and, as if to knit, slide it first through the stitches that would normally be coming to the front of the cable and like crossing over the front. And that's what these 3 stitches right here are part of the cable that will come to the front. And this first stitch, which is a purl, is the part of the cable which will end up in the back once the cable twist has been completed. So the right tip of our needle is going to go first through the first 3 stitches and then through the 4th stitch. You can see I'm just right here at my tips. I'm going to slide that off. Now, if I were to just kind of look at what I've done, I've got this twisted kind of mangled thing going on my right needle. Don't worry. We're on the right track. So in order to get this cable ready to work, we need to put these stitches back on the left needle, and we're going to do it in the order of operations, the order that we need this to happen so that they're where they need to be for the cable. So turn your needles perpendicular. That makes this easier. That first stitch, which is the purl stitch that needs to go to the back, we're going to slide that to the left needle first. Then the next 3 stitches, which were the knit stitches that would be in the front of our cable angling to the right, those need to go on the left needle now. And so we're taking the tip of the left needle and we're going underneath those stitches. And it really is important to kind of be able to work close to your tips and have that nice sharp tip so that you can get it on there without any split stitches. But I'll tell you, split stitches happen. It's not a big deal. So you can usually fix those pretty easily. All right, now that they've been rearranged, now all we have to do is actually complete the cable by knitting the stitches. And I will just give you a little tip here. I like to pull that working yarn nice and tight before I start working the cable. That kind of makes those cable edges a little nicer. So we're going to knit the first 3 stitches. Get those worked. And now it's time to purl that last stitch and complete our 3/1 right purl cross or right purl cable. I've done it. You can't see a lot yet because this cable has just begun, but once you get a little more in, like another row in there, you'll start to really see how that cable's starting to move. And the 3/1 is kind of a subtle transition because it's only moving over by 1 stitch at a time, but it creates a really lovely subtle cable, at least once you get started, and it's a great way to test out the cabling without a cable needle method.